Hey, what's going on, everyone? It is me, GB, coming at you with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about my personal picks for Austin investments. After gathering all this data, I thought it would be a good idea to maybe take a couple of investment picks myself. I want there to be some proof behind the pudding, so to say, of this data. And I figured it would be fun for us to kind of follow along and see how these investments do over time, with maybe a little bit of insight, derived from this data. Now, again, this is not me telling you guys that you should pick these investments. I'm just going to show you the investments I picked for myself. I'm also going to talk about kind of my, thesis and thinking behind most of these picks. Consider this to be a long-term investment of greater than 1 year. Hey guys, this is GB in the editing bay. I meant to say this while I was recording, but obviously you can invest in the capsules themselves. But since this data is mainly based on applications of the stickers themselves, I think that that's where the nuance can be found, and kind of the good picks can be found is in the stickers. Obviously, it's a safer investment, less risky investment to invest in capsules. That has very good fundamentals and has shown to be decent over time. But the purpose of this data was to try and find, good finds within the stickers themselves. All right, back to the video. So we're just going to work from oldest to newest. I started with the Austin 2025 Challengers capsules, and as you can see, I have a couple of stickers highlighted in green. First point, guys, I'm not investing in any papers. I think that there are too many of them in existence. I do think that they look cool. I think that they're unique for papers and that they have things going for them. But the actuality and the reality of holding on to thousands and thousands of paper stickers is kind of cumbersome for me. I don't want to have to be worrying about papers clogging up my inventory when I think that there's better value or return on investment in foils and hollows. Now, that doesn't mean that papers won't be good investments going forward. I know a couple of you guys have talked to me about how you like the papers, and I think that they're good investments, but just personally me, I don't want to be handling thousands of papers in my inventory. So starting with the challengers, I went ahead, we'll just go to the foils first. I went ahead and picked the FaZe Clan foil and the M80 foil. The FaZe Clan foil, I feel like it has a lot of good fundamentals going for it. It has the most applications, it has a decent average sticker per weapon, it had a good price, and it was kind of, as I looked through the different categories, the FaZe Clan sticker kind of stuck out as being a pretty consistently well-performing sticker, so I went ahead and picked it up for the foils. Also for the M80, I picked up a bunch of M80s. It had a pretty good average sticker per weapon application. It was the third most applied. It was expensive. I think that, this is kind of contrary to the magic ratio number, and this shows kind of some nuance that goes behind some actual selections of stickers. But even though this is low on the tier list of foils, I do think that there is demand behind this sticker that is highly priced for a foil. But I also want to point out that, the M80 logo is going to change. This is going to be a unique sticker. Guys, the fundamentals are super important. If a sticker is unique to a collection, if the hollow is super cool, if it looks good, if it's applied a lot, those are all positive buying signs. And I think the M80 foil, it's applied a lot, it has a cool color and logo that's going to be unique, and that's why I'm selecting it. Alright, moving into the hollows, guys, the story kind of sticks. I went with the M80 hollow. I'll talk about that first. It is the most applied hollow. It is the second most expensive. I picked these up at buy order price. Again, I'm picking all these up from CS Float buy order prices, so things are going to kind of come trickling in, and I'm not going to have kind of my total investment holdings until a while from now. I tried to spend some time to, keep track of how many stickers I purchased, and it was just going to take too long. So I'm just going to tell you guys my picks. I'm not going to show you guys exactly how many I have or how many I bought them for, but that'll be in the future when we kind of come back to revisit this in a future video. So the M80 hollows, I purchased them around $10, $10.80, something like that. I think for their price, they have a ton of demand behind them. They're the most applied. They have a crazy 1.85 times stickers per weapon for this expensive of a sticker. And again, cool looking color, cool looking logo. I like it. Likewise with the FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan hollow is actually unique because, Austin has that flame appearance of its hollows. The FaZe Clan is a red sticker. It looks like fire. It looks cool. It's the second most applied. Pretty cheap. I picked them up for buy order price. Good difference. Good fundamentals, everything. I like the sticker a lot. And then also I just picked up a handful of MIBR hollows because they were the cheapest hollow. I picked them up for good prices. They are applied the third most. That's another thing. They have really good applications for, something that you wouldn't really consider to be a very desirable sticker. So I think that I'm going to pay attention to the numbers on this one, a little bit less of that intuition. Say, hey, it's the third most applied. It's it's damn the cheapest hollow in this whole category. I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. All right, that's the holos. And then going forward, guys, I did invest in a couple golds. I think that just they're so rare, they're so cheap, they're interesting, they're fun to have in your inventory. They're not going to go to the moon. I think that they're just kind of cool to hold. So I went ahead and bought some Virtus Pros golds because, again, third most applied, fifth cheapest, very low entry price, decent applications, whatever, guys. This is kind of just, having some golds to have them. I like that idea. Not too much thinking behind it, but again, FaZe Clan, most applied, second most expensive. Picked up a couple of these at buy order price on CS Float. I like the investment. All right, moving on to the Legends, guys. So this capsule is a lot more applied. It's the most popular one. It's got the biggest teams. So I wanted to, kind of invest a little bit less in this. I didn't go for any crazy purchases, but again, no papers. I'm not interested in papers. Moved on to the foils. Mongols, it shows like it's the best magic ratio. It's a very cheap entry price. Mongols is a well-liked team. It actually had decent applications. It's the fifth most applications and tied for the second cheapest at that floor price of 8 cents. And then also with the G2 esports, again, these are just dirt cheap for foils. I went ahead and just picked up a bunch of them because, I was buying them at 4 or 5 cents on CS Float. Super cheap. They're not really high demand stickers, but I figured I'll go ahead and pick them. And then I also went ahead and picked up some Aurora foils. I'm pretty sure Aurora is going to be in the next major, so, it's not going to be a unique sticker, but who's to say that foils will be in the next? We can't really predict if foils are going to be in the next one or glitters are going to come back. We thought foils were out of the rotation for good when glitters came back in, and, foils are back here for Austin. So, who's to say that there isn't going to be another Aurora foil sticker? It's possible, but, it's a cool looking color, cool looking sticker, most applied, most expensive. Very good application numbers for this category of stickers. It's the highest at 1.58 average applications per weapon, so I like it. Moved on to the holos. Interestingly enough, guys, Navi holo, most applied, very cheap. I like it. It's got decent applications at 1.5 times per weapon. The most applications by 200, which is a lot for this holo category. Pretty low entry price, so I went ahead and picked up like 8 or 4. I can't remember how many I picked up, but again, picked them up at CS Float buy order price. And again, most applied, good fundamentals. And then I haven't picked up any Team Liquid holos, but I did just list some buy orders for them at $16 or $17. I talked about this in my last video, guys. It's the most expensive, and I think rightfully so. Even though it's not the most applied, it's the second most applied, and it has a really good application per weapon of 1.92. It's only behind the Navi holo at the time I got all this data by 7 applications, so it's basically number 1. And it went down a whole bunch from the crash of the retake update, but now it's back up to 20. I think on Steam it's like at $21, so it's back up to above this. It was 30. Let's not forget this was super expensive not too long ago. About a month ago it was $30. So it's come down. I think now is a decent buying time. I think the ship has definitely not sailed on most of Austin's stickers, but as time increases and as they continue to be discontinued for longer and longer periods, and as people return to the CS economy with newfound interest after the retake market crash, I think Austin will slowly go up over time. And again, for the golds, guys, I really just picked the most 3 applied. They happen to be the 3 cheapest, so that was good enough fundamentals for me. They're fun to hold. They're just nice little golds. They're super rare. Went ahead and picked up the Navi, the Mongols, and the G2 esports. Moving down to the Contenders, guys. Again, no papers. I know the Fluxo paper has really good applications, but I just, not interested. Someone in the last video said that, people were using the Fluxo sticker to make a lot of fart crafts with the art signature, but they could also do that with the FaZe sticker. So I think the Fluxo is probably just being used for kind of that cat scratch looking design that it has, and the fact that it's just an abstract shape. I think people like it. That being said, though, the foils, different story. I went ahead and picked our Fluxo foil. It's not super highly hyped up. It's the 11th most applied, but good application numbers at 1.56. Very cheap entry price. Again, kind of just cheaper, super low floor price. I'm going to go ahead and pick them up. NRG is a different story, though. It is a little bit more expensive, but it is the 4th most applied. So good fundamentals, good team, energy, that can be used for a lot of, BDE, big dick energy crafts. It's got intrinsic demand to it. I think so does the Fluxo, with just Fluxo being a nice abstract shape. Speaking of intrinsic demand, guys, the Chinggis Warrior foil, super crazy, it's the most applied. It's not the most expensive. Super crazy average sticker per weapon over 2. Just crazy 4 times. It makes, we know what it makes when you put it in 4 times. People are making it. People are going to continue to make it. So I think it's really good. I'm putting a lot of, buy orders into the Chinggis Warrior foil. Likewise, guys, I think another unique sticker is the FlyQuest foil. You know, who's to say FlyQuest makes it into the next major? I don't know, but again, it's a nice looking green sticker. Green stickers do well. Just look at Flipside. Throughout history, Flipside has been a pretty highly priced sticker amongst its tournament stickers. This has good fundamentals. This is the third most applied, sixth most expensive, so a good difference there. 1.73 average stickers per weapon. So good fundamentals. I picked it up. Moving on to the hollows, guys. Didn't go for any crazy hollows here, just really went for the cheap ones that have good fundamentals. I talked about it in my last video, guys. It's insane. The energy hollow, it's the third cheapest, and it's the most applied. The Fluxo hollow, it's the second cheapest, third most applied. These have crazy fundamentals. I really like how many, multiple sticker crafts they have. The numbers back it up even more. Really good average stickers per weapon. Really good entry prices for this category. Again, guys, the Contenders foils, the supply of each individual sticker is going to be half of the supply of the rest of the capsules because there are 16 teams in this capsule. So any foil, any gold is going to be super, super rare. So I went ahead and picked that up. I haven't picked up any OG hollows, but I really like their fundamentals too. It's got that really cool blue flame, effect that the Team Liquid hollow from that Legends capsule also has. Really good fundamentals too, guys. If you kind of notice a trend, I'm really just picking the three most applied, and sneaky data proves that our three most applied, sometimes they are the cheapest. So I'm following the numbers, I'm following the applications, and yeah, I'm picking up the OG hollows if I can at a good price. Again, guys, golds, just kind of picking ones that I think look cool. I think the Chinggis Warrior foil, really good average sticker per weapon. People are still using it for 4 times, that kind of luxury 4 times craft. So I'm picking those up. It's the 5th most applied, 7th cheapest. Good fundamentals. Fluxo, Energy, again, cheapest, decently podium finish application rates. So, I just think the proof is in the pudding. I'm making this data. I'm using this data. I think you guys should use it as well if you are going to make any educated numbers-based decisions on your investments. That's what this is, that's the whole purpose for this. We're not just doing this to look at numbers, we're doing this to maybe make some fun investments. Again, guys, that's kind of my thesis behind each of these investments. I'm probably not going to cash out these for a while. If Austin gets pumped, I'll go ahead and sell. It's never a bad thing to take profits. And if you're buying these at low buy order prices, you're kind of really reducing your risk if you start at a low price. So I'd recommend be patient, place buy orders on your third-party site of choice or on Steam, whatever you have balance on, and just hold. These have good fundamentals. They're discontinued. People are actively applying them, so the price should go up over time, as we've seen with all tournament stickers. I think so far I've spent about $200 something across these stickers. Most of the volume is in foils, but most of the value is in hollows. That's just kind of the nature of this category of stickers. But I'll go ahead and load into my CS inventory and show you guys what I've just purchased so far, so you can so I can show it off. Okay, guys, so just gonna kind of scroll through my investments so you can see. Sorry, this isn't super professional. I wanted to make a Price Empire portfolio to follow. I will do that when all these stickers come in. As you can see, they're still coming in. That's a crazy name. Alright, so I'm just gonna scroll through and kind of show, my positions. I got that position in Chinggis Warrior foils. Again, these are super cheap, 20 cents a pop kind of thing. Phase foils, right around that price too. Lots of phase foils, a couple phase golds. I've got, let's see, that's 8 phase hollows. I like to kind of be on even numbers, either like 4 or 8, for a set of hollows. And then Fluxo foils, Fluxo golds. I've got 8 Fluxo hollows, bunch of FlyQuests, a lot of G2s. These are dirt cheap. A lot of G2 foils, super dirt cheap. A bunch of G2 golds. I think I have 10 here or maybe more. Again, just super duper cheap. M80 foils, they look nice. NRG foils, they look good, have good fundamentals. Energy hollows, again, cheapest hollow of its category and really, really applied. The Navi hollow, the Navi golds, the Mongols, the VP. And then if I go to my Austin stickers, we can see the ones that have been trade holded. I've got my Aurora hollows, I've got more phase foils, another phase hollow, more G2 foils, G2 hollows, M80 foils, M80 hollows, MIBR hollows, and some Navi foils, guys. So again, let me know what you guys pick for your investments. I'm interested to see, what this community, likes to select. Please let me know if you guys noted anything in the data, if you are making any suggestions, if you have any insights, just put them all in the comments below. Again, I appreciate the love. It's crazy. I'm getting like 100 subs per video. You guys are eating it up, and I love it. Thank you for all the continued support, the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I do not want to disappoint and want to keep making videos for you guys. So we're going to take a look at these investments, and in a few months or whatever, we'll come back and check them out and see how they're doing. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed day, and take it easy.